says I'm live. This is my first, I think, successful YouTube live video, and I'm pretty stoked about it. I usually do a Facebook live video every week, and I've tried to be live here on YouTube, but it has not been so successful. I hope everybody's having a great day. One of the questions I get all the time in my Facebook Live is, what is my gun book collection? And so I thought I would go through and share with you some of my favorite books for shooters here live on YouTube. I have a few viewers and I see a thumbs up. How's everybody doing today? So, this is one of the first shooting books that I've ever read, and I highly, highly recommend it. It is called With Winning in Mind. I'm sorry if this is a forward-facing camera and it looks backwards. It may look right on your screen, but I'm not sure. It usually doesn't look good on Facebook, but this is by Lenny Basham, and if you don't know anything about Lenny Basham, he is one of the most successful shooters, rifle shooters, Olympic shooters in U.S. history. He was a 1972 silver medalist at the Munich Games. Olympic medalist. He was a 1974 world champion, 1975 championship of the Americas, 5 gold medals, set 4 world records. He is absolutely fantastic as far as learning what it needs to happen as far as a mental plan, a mental kind of system in order to be a good shooter. And a lot of this pertains a lot to precision-based shooting sports, but there's a lot of really good stuff in here. If you're a shooter, if you're an athlete, if you're just somebody who wants to become better at something, this is really good book for goal setting. And it's not very big. This one is pretty old. My copy is is dated, but at that point there was over 100,000 copies sold, and it's a really, really good one. Don't be fooled by the fact that it was written by someone who won Olympic gold medals back in the 70s, because it's really, really good. The thing about this book and the thing about mental management, I think that was really helpful for me. I was first introduced to Lenny Basham's plan, his mental management plan, when I was in the United States Army, shooting for the Army Action Team. He actually came and gave us seminars. His sons were at the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit, also doing what they could do to become Olympians. You can't wait to read that one, Labby 2. It's a good one. I highly recommend it. Thanks for commenting. But this book kind of really opened my eyes to really goal setting. I was a teenager when I first joined the Army. I was 18 years old. I wanted nothing more than anything to become a national champion. That was my ultimate goal. Fast forward 20 years, I have several, many in fact, and this book I attribute a lot to that first time success. There's a lot of in here about positivity and the positive mindset, and it is a little guy smiley. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one of those things where you have to believe and to put yourself in the moment. But Lenny is always really big on visualization and being positive. And when you're working as hard as you're working to become what you want to become, whether it's a national champion or just move up in classification or get a perfect 10 3 times in a row, bust clays, whatever your shooting sport is or whatever your sport is in general, the big key is you're going to have to work hard at it, but you need to stay positive. That negative thought process that goes through your mind every time something doesn't go right is really, really, really hard to overcome. And I just saw a comment there that I didn't get to see, but thank you for commenting and thank you for the thumbs up, Evan. It's easy to see the influence the book had on you, Julie. You're always positive. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yes, positivity is really, really important. And there's such a thing as fake positivity. A lot of people out there are like, oh, I can't hear anything negative, and I have to, surround myself with positivity all the time. And I'm kind of on the mindset of negative things happen. It's how you deal with those negative things. So if you had a miss on a stage, you have to learn how to accept it, but you also have to learn how to overcome it. And the people that shy away from conflict and people that are like psychotically obsessed with anybody talking about having a miss in a match, you know what, that's reality. And if you can't deal with that either, then you're never going to be as successful as you can be too. So Lenny really focuses on positivity and the positive mindset and believing that you can be there. And I think that was very helpful for me struggling to win my first nationals, because I really had a hard time dealing with the fact that I was the only female on my team, that I felt like I wasn't really progressing as fast as I wanted to, and I had all of these other challenges, and it was really easy to succumb to self-doubt. But this book was really, really helpful in that. And then along the way, I've evolved my own mental management system that really has helped me, adapt and overcome in situations. If you think the sky is falling, guess what? You're never going to be able to perform your best. But if you accept that the sky may be a little bit cloudy, you can still work through it, and you can still be positive, and you can still put forth your best effort. So this book is a whopping, are you ready for this? 162 pages. So don't think it's going to take you forever. It's not going to be too cerebral for you. The print is pretty big, and it has a ton of great information. It is truly, truly a classic. I think I'll go through here and I think I can read you the table of contents. So the first section is all about what is mental management. The second section is building the conscious circle. The third section is building the subconscious circle. Were you a competitive shooter at 4-H? I was not. I did not ever compete in 4-H. Sometimes the biggest challenge is knowing as you're a performer, these comments keep disappearing, but thank you. I will promise to go back through these comments and address them later on. If you want to ask them again, throw them at me and I'll be sure to stop. And the fourth section is building the self-image. And that one is a huge, huge portion of this book. Big into self-image and self-positivity. And it's very, very easy to read. But I find that sometimes the thinner the book, the more meat there is in it. I think that a lot of these self-help books and a lot of these mental management books, and I've read quite a few of them, really kind of say the same things over and over again. And are trying to drive their point home or points, but this one really has a lot of great stuff. So I hope that you like it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, let me know what you think, and I will go through it may take a while because I actually have quite a few books, different books out there about shooting, about guns in general, about mental management and everything else. Asked you a few questions in the past, just saying thanks in person for your input. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. But if there's any books that you would like me to talk about, or if you would like me to share anything in particular, leave them in the comments below if you like this. Hopefully I'll be able to do a few more. I have a lot of fun ones in mind that maybe it'll be fun. Agreed, less fluff and more to the point. I wish more instructors were like this. Absolutely. I find that like whenever I see people teaching, they just go through so much stuff, and you can really, really learn. It's in everything we do. It's in the basics. Like, I know, first rule of CrossFit is that you CrossFit, but I do CrossFit. I think it's a really good way for me to stay physically fit for the shooting sports. But technique is everything. It's not just about doing something, but really, really figuring out the nit and gritty of those basic skills that are really going to help you improve, whether it's, that single shot, being precise and accurate like Lanny, or whether it's action shooting game, what have you. But definitely, the path to growing is always about being very specific and learning those basics. Saul Kirsch, another great guy out there. More of my era, a little bit more recent than Lenny's success. The one thing that makes me upset about our shooting sports is that we don't have the history like a lot of the Olympics do. Malcolm, you too is great. I'm not blocked from here. I just did this on a whim, Malcolm. I figured I'm doing a live video on Facebook. Maybe I would try to do one here. And, it works for us young folks too. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. But I wish our shooting sports did a better job of logging and going back. Like if you look at the shotgun shooting sports, they know so much of who shot when and where and how and why. And you can't find results from matches that didn't exist prior to the internet for the action shooting sports, which makes me a little sad. And even the ones that we do have logs and records like any of the NRA sports, they don't make it easy to find that information. And I think one of the steps to becoming truly accepted as a sport in general is to make sure that your information is out there. Because the more information you have out there, the more legitimate you are to the entire world. So that's my call out right there. Me getting on my high horse. Shooting sports, get your act together. Start asking volunteers, to have historians to record our history so that you can know everything, the steps to what is becoming a huge, huge fun thing. All right, guys, I am going to sign off. If you have any other books that you would like me to review or talk about here on YouTube Live, my first really successful YouTube Live. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. And as I always like to say, be safe and have fun. Later, guys.